welcome to round 2 with modern Seismic Swans. And we have a Snap Keeper with 2 action cards and the loam to go off. But we see one of the possibly worst things, which is a interactive land. But we draw one of the best cards, which is Spirit Guide. I could have Templed here. I opted to Heath because I may have been overvaluing scrying after everything. But I also didn't want to give away too much as to what I'm doing. Maximize the odds on my opponent tapping out. I think Heath is like the most innocuous land. They do tap out for a wall. And I, slam my Seismic Assault off the Spirit Guide. Really no questions. And here I'm presented with the option of Crusher or Loam. I opt to Crusher just to do more of the thing, which is kind of cool. But the thing I realized later was that my opponent has 3 lands that will be untapped on my turn, and I should resolve the Loam for the first time before my opponent can cast Vendilion Click. Because then I guaranteed get a Dredge off it, which is 3 cards deeper to find another Loam. But I Crusher. They do a thing. I, fire off killing their wall to force them to do something. I think I might have been able to just fire one shot at their face instead. It dies to generic random removal spell, and I gas back up on lands. I opt to Temple because I'm building up to Horizon Canopy double Loam in the same turn, rather than saving a shock, which may have been wrong. I think I missed 4 damage potentially there. This also protects me against, like, my green sources getting cut off. Yeah, I missed potentially 4. The way I played it, more than 4, actually. Well, the land wouldn't have gone there. Could have gone to his face. Probably about 6 to 8 damage there. So my loam this turn, obviously dredging. Just my opponent will run out of counterspells eventually. But in an unfortunate turn of events, that happens. I fire off my lands, maximize damage before. I don't really care about Temple. And I'm just going to try to top deck. Play the Ghost Quarter to gun down a Celestial if I need to. My opponent plays a weird threat. And I top deck a Seismic Assault. Super lucky, obviously. Time Walk happens. Beatdowns happen. I fire the Bolt here to just kill this and not take damage. And then I realized that I'm actually in a worse spot because Bolt plus the 3 lands off Loam next turn actually kills Gideon, and now I have to do some weird stuff to handle getting attacked by it twice. I basically cost myself like a pretty critical 2 life there by making that play. I was trying to play around them, like returning it to their hand with Cryptic and then having a really like cryptic line where they like get to bounce their Snap and then recast in Cryptic, but it's the same as them casting Cryptic once because they're not countering my spell when they do it, so it's not a big deal. Anyways, I can stay alive via playing the basic playing a white source, and now here I can Helix, put Gideon to 5. Should have Helix the Finks. So that was persisted. That saves me more in the long run because it's Helix doesn't actually take additional counters off Gideon, so it's the same as throwing a land at it. I'm gonna throw a land at the Finks. I guess I do this. It's all the same. Literally all the same. It's gonna take 3 lands to kill this either way, and I get to, yeah, no difference whatsoever. So I loam back my stuff. Sack Canopy, re-up Loam. And now I have enough to take down Gideon and Kitchen Finks and Ghost Quarter Celestial. And handle this Restoration Angel. So kind of priced into making all my moves now. My opponent pass, whatever. I don't care about that. Uh, all their things are dying here. And now I just have to fade them drawing something good for their turn so I can loam. They draw the best possible thing, which is Cryptic Command, bounce their Detention Sphere, sphere both my Seismic Assaults, put me 100% out of the game. And then they draw another great thing here, which is Ghost Quarter, which means that they can proactively Ghost Quarter my Ghost Quarter, and then I can no longer Ghost Quarter down an attacking Celestial, because they have two, I have to choose one, and then the other one animates. One thing worth noting, there's a decent number of spots this game where I can act on upkeep against open mana to play around command a little better, and I do so, but nothing that really matters in the end because of that draw step. If they don't have that, I get to, I mean, eventually it doesn't get great for me, but I get to kill this and have two lands in hand, and actually it's more because I get back Canopy that turn too. Yeah, if I fade that draw step, I think I just cascade out of control and win, but the game is just totally out of reach otherwise. Yeah, I think I wasted about 4 damage or something early, or 4 or 8. It's like just barely not enough for it to have been lethal, I feel like. I don't think I wasted 8, but it's possible I did. Pretty simple sideboarding here. I board up 2 threats and a wear tear, board out 3 removal, leaving a little bit so I can combo off when I learned my lesson last game. I want all the spirit guides so I can get an assault in under a counterspell. I want the crushers. I want the swans. There's not a lot else I can cut, and I can't cut lands, so the alternatives I could bring in Scavenging Ooze or something out of the sideboard, but I'm not the biggest on that. So that's about it. I could have, like I said, cut all the bolts, but I was afraid of my lesson from last round repeating itself. Okay, game 2 against blue-white with Swans. And this hand has all the things. Get to draw a Crusher, great. Get my tap land. There's no scry value lost here. I think I just was overestimating that. I thought about ways to make this hand spreading seas proof too with my curve, and there was no way to do so because I can't get 3 red if I get spreading seas. Pretty straightforward. So I'm going to lead on the Crusher and hope it gets countered. Great. Slam Assault. Resolves, which is great. My opponent plays a kind of irrelevant Crucible. And here I get aggressive with Swans, then bolt it because this is my opportunity with 1 land. I think I actually should have passed and waited, but they have the path. And the reason I bolt instead of shocking is Canopy replaces itself, so I'm not actually down a card there. The bolt doesn't really do a lot in the matchup. It's just in my deck to make the combo better, and it's plus a card if it resolves. I think I could have waited and got more value, but now I'm just kind of sitting with nothing, hoping to draw a loam. My opponent plays an Archmage, which is not actually as big of an issue as it should be. Crack the Canopy to get a little bit deeper. Play Simian Spirit Guide because it's not doing anything not being cast. And my opponent plays Geist, which my deck actually just has no outs to whatsoever. It's a giant nightmare. And I kind of have to hope that they don't do exactly what they do, which is they kill my blocker. And I'm just basically just 100% dead in 2 hits. I don't even get the land because I'm I kind of want to draw more lands. But I guess I want to draw a creature. It's just a disaster here. This deck cannot beat Geist of St. Draft in any way, shape, or form. I think waiting on the Bolt My Swans would have been a little more productive, but I'm unsure exactly how much more productive. That's interesting. That might have been the point I could have gotten somewhere. Just sat and had threat of activation there. Yeah, that was definitely a mistake.